Good morning, souls around the world. I think I'm live here. Sounds like someone wants to join in. We have one laying over here, one laying in the workshop, one laying down in the cellar, and I think Venus is finished for today. And I've been up early, as I'm up early most mornings, every morning. It's 8 o'clock here in South Australia. I start my day at 6. I have a quick coffee, just quickly check emails, and then I am out in the paddock. And I'm going to upload a little. I'm going to upload a little video showing my little farm morning routine. Um, every morning varies out here on the farm at Noor Gardens. Can you hear that? Maybe not, but that's everything. Every morning varies because there's always different jobs to do. But I will say, in the last few days, it's been like 28, 29 degrees, which isn't really that hot. It's like a perfect springtime day. Some She wants to be on the live stream. Some may say it is hot, like if you live in maybe perhaps London or England. But for me, I'm used to days of 40 degrees plus, which is 110, 115. I can tolerate that for weeks on end. And I think if you've grown up with that, you're okay with that. I can't cope with the freezing cold. Um, so anything below, 0 is difficult for me to, cope with. We had mornings here, so we have hard summers and hard winters. But what I find difficult is in the mornings, you just can't move your fingers. I mean, I'd be sitting at the keyboard and they'd be just jamming up like this, and they were so cold that they would sting, and it would be too cold to touch the laptop and want to write on the keyboard. It's all those things you just take for granted so easily. Um, but you know what? To work in, I love the winter to work in out in the paddocks because, first, there's no snakes, and two, you can be working really hard and you don't really work up a sweat. You keep cool, you can keep going all day. You don't get sunburned. I got sunburned yesterday. Can you see maybe? I was out all day, and the reason I was out was because it's getting warm now. We've had some really warm weather. I've had to transplant all my rose cuttings, hundreds and hundreds of them. So I had maybe about 300 in sawdust. I'll post pictures on a next morning kind of routine farm video. And then I had maybe 200 up in the David Austin rose bed. If you've seen that, it's basically a bed full of David Austin cultivar like roses, and they're just starting to fry. I mean, they're coping okay up in that bed, but I can start seeing, am I there? Yes. I can start to see like the ends starting to fry. I'm like, no, no, it's not even summertime. And the sawdust was working perfectly up until the hot weather, because what's happening now is that the tops of the cuttings are drying out, and the bottom, because the sawdust is moist underneath, it's creating a steam type environment, and it's starting to slowly rot the cuttings. Only a couple of them were rotting, but that was enough for me to notice I've got to put them in the ground, whether they've calloused or not. Oh no, what's happening? Am I okay here? I hope this doesn't drop down. Yeah. Um, so anyway, they're all in soil now, and basically, when you see my next video, you'll see me out with the chickens this morning at like 6 o'clock, and I like basically tilled all the ground yesterday, raked out all the rocks because there's this nice little patch of soil because I've got really hard clay soil here. But this one that I've found is actually really nice. So I just mass planted, like high density planting. There's just hundreds in this little bed. But I don't need them to grow. I just basically need them to survive. And that's the biggest thing is just having them survive the summer. So I've now covered them and put rocks around them, and I'll just water them like I've been doing every day. And hopefully they survive the summer. I think they will because um, I a lot of you know that I've grown these roses from seeds as well, and they were starting to steam, and some of them die because I left the container lids on them. If you've seen my videos, you'll see these lids on these containers, a bit like an incubator, over the winter period, and it worked. Excuse me, and it worked perfectly until the weather got hot, and I could see these leaves were steaming. I'm like, no. So I went to my local hardware store and I bought some shea cloth, and I've just draped that now over the top of those containers. And the rose seedlings are doing amazing. So no more steaming. I just needed to, because roses aren't a tropical plant anyway, they need airflow. And, this is a real intuitive experience for me because nobody's done it like this here in this region before, like in my area. And so I've got nobody to really talk to about it and ask them, oh, hey, what did you do? You know, it's just so much trial and error. I mean, if I lived down south, if I lived where those other rose farms are, I could easily ask them and, or at least learn about their environment. But because weather is different everywhere you go, like even 20 kilometers north of here, the weather is completely different. So it's basically trying to acclimatize to your environment and to blend with your environment because one thing for sure is that if you love um, peonies and dahlias, they really don't grow so well here unless you have somewhat of a sheltered, controlled environment. But you just have to grow what adapts in your local environment. And that's what gardening's all about, learning to be intuitive with the land, learning to listen to your plants, listen to Mother Nature, listen to Mother Earth. So, it's been a huge, huge learning experience, hasn't it? Yeah, she agrees with me. That's Shalaha. So, yeah, how's everybody doing? It's, yeah, like I said, it's been a busy week and always busy, but it just feels so productive. It just feels so good, like I can't reiterate it enough that the natural way of life, I just find myself just getting so, just so lost in my own world here. And I love that, I just feel, you know, your world is how you make it. And like one thing, if anything, this year, it just shows you how influenced um, we are by what others are doing. And it really makes a conscious effort. I mean, you really have to make a conscious effort to pull away from that, to pull away from not reading the news, to pull away from not reading. Um, you know what it is, especially with social media, um, reading the little articles and things they put under like maybe a Facebook message or like things for you to attract your attention. Do you know what I mean? Like all of these little subliminal things that people totally overlook that like they wouldn't think two thoughts about it and then they click on it. Like the programming is real and I've never I do have my Instagram account, but I feel inspired by that because it's all to do with gardening. I deleted my other one. It didn't fulfill me as much as the gardening one does. And if anything, the my Noor Gardens Instagram is more so just for me to document my own experience, because I always have a mishmash of photos and stuff, and to be able to like chronologically order my progress on something like a social media platform like Instagram, I can document the process. And um, so, but I've deleted. I was using Snapchat. I only had like my local friends in this area, like family and things, if they needed to know where I was or whatever. Not that nobody in my family uses Snapchat. Um, I just deleted it because you know what was bothering me? Um, was seeing those little subliminal articles at the bottom. I just thought, you know what? Why? Why can we not like choose what we want to see down the bottom? Because I tried to filter out what I was seeing, um, uh, like at the bottom of those articles. I wanted to put gardening things or gardening articles or scientific or astronomical articles, and none of that came up. It was all this bullshit, reality, celebrities, and all that. I'm just like, I don't want to see that. That is toxic to me, and I kind of feel, um, I do like because I follow one of my favorite singers. She's actually a Middle Eastern Khaliji singer. Her name's Ahlam, and maybe some of you know of her, Ahlam Al Shamsi. And I mean, she just posts so much. I mean, I don't like all of her posts because it's just like, it's just so many posts. But I just, I love hearing her voice. I love hearing her sing. So I was following her for that. And then some of my Middle Eastern sisters and family, they're like, oh my gosh, why have you deleted your Snapchat? We can't see where you are anymore. I'm just like, you know what? I'm just over it. I'm over it. And I don't know if gardening, farming life has done that to me, but I'm just over it. Just over the influence. And I've had to buy, a lot of you know, look at this new phone. Can you see this? I've already got mud on it. I had, this is me out in the garden this morning. I put it on a post because I don't like having this on my body at all. So I just leave it on a post, but it's covered in mud. I had Glad wrap on it. Can you believe it? And I already don't like it. I miss my old phone. This is just clunky, and I'm getting a cover for this. I've ordered one, but I still miss my old phone. Like I just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just old. I'm just old. So, this influence is real, people. Like, it's everywhere. So, I've deleted my Snapchat. Um, I barely use Instagram except for to look at other gardens and roses. And I follow a couple of date farms in Iraq and Iran. Um, and then some floral designers. But, you know, those are the kind of things that inspire me. And that's what I'll follow. So I, might check that a couple times a day. But like that's what it is for me. Like, and even Facebook, like I get on there and post, sometimes every day, sometimes every few days. But the good thing about Facebook is that you can filter what you see for the most part, But that programming, that influence is real, and it takes a real effort to get away from that. And I'm so lucky. I feel so blessed that I've created a space where I'm not around it, and I don't watch TV. I do have a TV, but that's for my nieces and nephews when they come here. I don't even know how to connect it up. So when they come here, they have to connect it up because I have no idea. I got some movies for them, but that's it, you know. That's my only connection to the world is through here and my YouTube channel. And I love that I do have that connection, and then of course my website. So, it takes a real effort to pull away from that, and you can create that world. You can create the world you want if you put in the effort for it. I want to live in that, you know, in that golden age. I want to create that utopic place, that golden age place where how it would have been um, back in ancient times. I don't feel like a person of this modern world. I know a lot of you feel the same. I know there are plenty of souls that I, have quite a fair bit to do with that don't feel like you just relate. I just feel so old in a modern type, fast paced world. And I believe that obviously we are meant to be here because we're here right now, but we are also here to, I feel in many ways, to remind people not to forget the old natural ways, the ways of living in harmony with planet Earth, to blend and be one with Mother Earth. And so when I see things like Elon Musk and all these people so fixated on money and power, it just grains me like a cheese grater. It really does. It just grates the hell out of me. And it just seems so far removed from what I value. And I just think, all this effort to go to another planet and colonize, you know, the moon or Mars. I mean, they're all colonized anyway. The only planet that is not inhabited, but there is a base station there, is Mercury, because it's just too hot and too freezing for any life to exist. But there is a base station there. But every other planet is already colonized and has been for millions of years. So, and you know what? The people at those top tier levels, they know this. They have to know this because there is already a native race living underneath the surface of Mars, with some places on top of the surface. But all this talk about colonizing, and then that movie, The Martian, how Mars is this desolate planet. Again, that programming is real. So, I figure, why spend all this effort on going to these other places when we should be cleaning up our own planet, getting rid of plastic, or at least developing technology where we can break it down naturally, reuse it, remelt it, or however. I mean, I know we do it now, but I'm talking about all of it. I figured, and it should be a law. It should be a law. If there's anything that we create, we should be able to dispose of it just as easily as we create it. And if we cannot, we should not introduce it. Things like plastic, things like nuclear energy, obviously, two big things we cannot get rid of: the waste, the byproduct. We can't get rid of the waste of nuclear energy. And so that's the downfall of human beings, is that we create these things. It's like it's like creating these things, and yet we don't have a sufficient way of resolving it. It's like not a full circle. So basically, we've got to the top of the circle, but we haven't figured out a way to get back down to the bottom to create this beautiful, homogeneous, harmonious loop. And I just think, why these, especially people in power, and the irony, Elon Musk's brother, who's meant to be this environmentalist or conservationist, is on the, I think he's on on the panel of SpaceX or something, maybe Elon Musk's company, like you would think as an environmentalist, he would be putting his foot down saying, "Listen, brother, hey bro, let's clean up the planet first. Let's work on introducing ourselves to Mars later. Let's clean our planet. Let's fix our planet. Let's create that golden age." And it's just I just think these types of people, Elon Musk and others, not just him but others, are here to show us we what we don't need. Um, what we need to do is help our planet first, clean our planet, bring it back, or try and reverse as much as the damage we have done. And like, it just, I try not to think about it because it grates me. It grates me like cheese. But this is where you step back and say, wait a minute. I have control of my situation. I can do my part, even no matter how small. I can do my part and take control of my home, my area, and do it to the best of my ability to preserve this planet. So if your intentions are pure like that and good and authentic, then you're playing your part in helping the planet. If you see a can on the side of the road, um, and you pick it up, you're playing your part. No matter how small, it's all noted. It's all noted. So, yeah. Let's see who's here. Hi, gorgeous people. Whoa, there's a few of you here. Hey there. Hey, Joey. ¿Cómo estás? He says, hi, Queen Andulairah. Oh, you guys. Crystal Marie's here. Hey, Crystal. Hey, Monique. Sending you my love, beautiful. Oh, you're so sweet. Hi, Shelley. I'm hoping this stays live. I keep seeing the red button. Come on. Lilith is here. Hi, Lilith. Hey, Nathan. Hello from Essex. Wow, must be getting cooler there now. Hi, Tyler. Hey, Mundo. Have some ginger tea to warm up. Girl, I am warm. I see. I'm not even wearing like dressing gown or anything. I've already been out working, so I'm definitely warm. Hey, Joseph. God bless you too. Mundo says, agree about social media. I have turned off recently. I notice how Instagram especially affected my brain in terms of pressure inside frontal areas, my eyesight, and overactive dreams. Just too many. Yep. Yeah, don't be surprised even like I can be very impulsive like that. I can just delete my Instagram account. But I'm very careful about what I'm following and what I'm seeing on Instagram though. So my feed, let's see what's on my feed actually. Actually, I'm going to show you my can you see it's a picture of date palms, Iraqi date palms. Let's go in. Let's see what my feed is on Instagram. Yeah, you know what? Doesn't look. I don't usually pay attention to that so much. Can you see that? So I'm not finding anything like a lot of this stuff I'm not following. I don't know how to turn that off though. I don't know how to turn that off. But the ones that I'm following, like this. I mean, I love seeing this. I love seeing dates and on date palms and um, so I don't know. I don't know how to filter out that feed any more than what I've done now, but um, it'll be a problem when Instagram starts suggesting other people to follow, or I'm starting to see other stuff in my feed that, like the whole Snapchat thing. I tried to filter that out, and I hope that I filtered it out, and it didn't work, and I just got over it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm sick of seeing Kylie Jenner on my feed, or I'm sick of seeing, you know, people I haven't even heard of, and stupid things like, oh, what she bought for him, and Just like I don't give a damn about that. Who cares? But people get totally influenced by that, and I got sick of it. So I don't know how to get back on that and not see that kind of stuff because I don't care for it. That's not my world. That's not my reality, and I don't know how to filter that out though. And I just don't have the patience for it. Yeah, Mondo says images feel that the rapid eye movement as we scroll is not good. Yeah. Yes, actually, you're exactly right about that. Mondo says the advertising is way too much on all the sites, even YouTube putting now multiple ads before and after videos. Hi, Angry Birds. Congratulations. Yeah. Sorry, it's just a personal personal thing. Actually, Angry Birds had a reading with me, and I had predicted that they would get a job. I said the job is in the bag, and they wrote to me back a few days later saying they got the job. Medusa, hey chica, so happy to chat you live. Love how you have transformed your home. I know you have worked so hard. Yeah, it's still a work in progress. I actually thought removing this render would be like a 6 month project. I managed to get it done in about 2 weeks because I got so sick of the dust and oh my god, it's such a filthy job. It's still not done, but thank God for the jackhammer because I started with the mallet and the chisel and I would have been here for 6 months. Still doing it if I use that, but the jackhammer saved my life. Hi, Whitney. Aw, love you so much. Can you make more esoteric videos, teachings, please? Yes, I will get around to it eventually, but like I'm busy and also, building that catalog back up again of all my videos. I mean, that was such effort and that was over years and years and years. And like to build that back up with all that esoteric knowledge that is gone now, um, and all those videos, the metaphysical ones, like they take time. They take time, and that's the thing. Like, not you, honey, but just people in general. Like, things are not a microwave meal. Like, videos take time. Making jewelry takes time. Oh my gosh, like people don't see the behind the scenes of how much time and effort goes into producing things, making things from scratch, especially for me being that I am a one woman show here. And so my orders that come through, like, they come in the line that they are received. And sometimes I think people must forget that I have other orders that I do for people and I get emails or messages from people every day or every second day asking where their order is. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, I need time. Like, and especially if you want good quality with good energy, give me my time so I can give you the best product. Like, I just think sometimes people don't understand how much time and effort it takes to create these products and things and the videos. So like so I am definitely um, trying to keep on top of that and build that up, but it's going to be a slow process. And I think you understand. I think you understand for the most part, but it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and I'm a different person now. I've you know the information is absolutely still very valid, and but I'm so busy now. I wasn't. Well, I was busy with different things back in those years, but I am so physically busy these days that my life has changed drastically. I've never worked so physically hard in my entire life since being here on this farm. So I'll get around to it. Hi, Athena. Angry Birds. Hello, yeah, you're on. Yes, just tuning in as you're talking about Instagram. I rarely ever go on, but I do follow a few witches. I wonder who of them might. I wonder who one of them might be. Ah. Yes, Mundo. I know about this Chinese channel. Liz Chi, is that how you pronounce her? Ah, my gosh, I follow her. She's incredible, and I empathize with her so much. And I remember watching something of her talking about how she has a videographer. Is that how you say it now? She didn't start with one, but like I gotta get a tripod. If I was to do something like she does and film all the process, like it's a lot of setting up cameras and things. But I think if I had a camera set on a permanent tripod, like a camera permanently set on something like that, maybe I could do videos like that as well. I don't even know if people would like them. I don't know. I haven't really thought about it, but I think she is so inspiring. She's so inspiring, and um, obviously her place is a lot more established than mine. Perhaps when I'm a little more established, like when my rose garden's a little more established, I could, you know, spend more time with making videos like that. I, you know, I think what she does, I just, I feel so kindred with her because I understand that hard work. And through a camera, it's so hard to portray how hard the work is. Not that you're trying to prove anything, but like on a camera, and when you sit back and watch it, you don't feel the strenuous muscle feeling of how much work it takes. But I had read somewhere that someone said that she wasn't doing all the work, and she would turn the camera off, and then she'd have all these helpers. And I think she got kind of really offended by that, and I think she ended up making like a long drawn out video to show people, well, not long, but she recorded it long and then somehow fast tracked it to show that she did all the work. But she's phenomenal, and I love that she just turns her hand to anything. And farm life does that to you. When you are a one woman show, she's obviously not married, but when jobs have to get done, either you buck up and you get on with it and you learn until you can do it, or or you don't. And I attest from my own personal experience now of I've the more you do something, the more confident you feel about making something else. Like I wouldn't dream of making a fence like I did at the front of my place years ago. I would never think I could do something like that, but I've done it. I took all this render off with a jackhammer. I mean, how many women do you know use a jackhammer? Maybe there's a lot, but do you know what I mean? Like, just not regular ladies' work. And I hate to discriminate like that, but we have that kind of separation in our world that a woman kind of stays in the kitchen and a man kind of does all the hard work, but it's not like that. So I really admire her because she has put her hand to so many different things, and she does so many things, and everything's grown from a garden. I think she's amazing. So thank you for the reminder. Mando says, um, your last video about A432 was absolutely fascinating. Thank you so much for sharing. You're welcome. It's an older video. It was 2014. I can't believe where the time's gone. It's incredible. Athena says, been watching a lot of Abraham Hicks lately. Something pulled me towards her recently, and I have been on a complete binge. I love Abraham Hicks, by the way. I love Esther. Mando says, it's crazy how much hate Liz Chi gets in a matter of minutes. It's beyond me how many haters come out of the blue like that. When I read through her feed, I unless it's written in Chinese, I can't read Chinese, but it seems that it seems positive to me. But she may filter those comments out. I know I do. If anyone's knocking me or bagging me, there's no place for that on my channel. Sorry, you're having a bad day. Or if there's anything offensive, like even if I hint just a few words of someone being offensive, I don't even finish reading it and I just delete it and basically block them. So I just think, you know what, if you unless it's a valid point, I totally respect like honest critiquing and someone giving advice or tips or pointing something out. I totally respect that. But when someone's just slamming you because they just hate you just because, and they're being awful just because they're either jealous or they're nasty or they're having a bad day, maybe they broke up with their boyfriend, um, or just because they just don't like me, well, I've got no place. There is no place for people like that on my channel. So if I see something like that, I usually just delete it and block it. And because other people don't need to see that crap either. How does it? How does anything good come out of that? I can take it. I can take whatever is thrown at me, but other people don't need to see that. Um, and in fact, the less time I've spent on it, um, the less that I get. I used to get so much hate in my younger YouTube years, like in 2009, 2010. There were just some people hell bent on trying to bring me down, and literally I would block them, and the same people would go ahead and make another channel. So all this effort spent just to hate and just to be awful and nasty, and they would literally create another channel or another account to hate again. And I just think, wow, you've obviously got a lot to do with your time. I just think all that energy and focus could be channeled in such a more effective way. But that's just how some people are. I don't know. Some people just obviously need to work through that and get on with things. Can you believe this chook is still in here? She's still in here laying an egg. Oh, goodness, Shalaha. Come on, girl. Uh, oh, she's finally out. Good girl. Medusa says, so true. My grandmother was a true testament to doing it yourself. She built half her home. She always taught there is nothing you can't do. She was 93, and build a chicken coop herself. Wow. Oh, it's unbelievable. Look, and I think I feel so good when I do it. I feel young. I love getting that sun on my skin yesterday. Getting that. Do you want to say hello? No. She ran away. Sorry. Getting that sun on my skin and getting that oxygen flowing, working up a sweat. I mean, nothing beats that. Nothing beats that feeling of just productive, active work. And I just work at my own pace. I just, when I'm tired, I'll just sit for a couple minutes and have a spell, and then I'll start again. And that's how I am. But I just, um, there's so many women around the world, and a lot of women that don't even, never even heard of YouTube. But a lot of women, especially in those. Balkan countries and like all the Stan countries, they are hard working women, and they do, not to, discriminate against the men, but work a lot more than the men. And it's the women that usually do all the work. Not all the work, but most of the work. And, I think it's just in their culture that the woman has to do everything. Um, yeah, the roles are very reversed in many ways. So yeah, I'm so inspired by women, especially that just women are as strong and as capable and as good as any man doing it. I will say though, I probably need some help because I am building a swing frame out in my David Austin rose bed. I'm building like a swing frame, just like a swing seat to sit on to enjoy and smell the roses. But with my greenhouse, if some of you have seen the pictures I've posted on my Instagram, it looks now like the Acropolis, maybe in Greece. Um, I'll need probably some help putting that frame up just to hold it in place for me because someone up on a ladder with long pieces of timber, it's more than a one person job. Oh, hi, Jake. Thank you so much for your email. I will get in touch with you and we can organize a time to connect again. I'm doing really well, thank you. Hope you're doing well in sunny old England. Hi, Athena. Yeah, I have noticed the same thing. The less I focus on the hate, the less I receive. Kind of ironic. I've been listening to Esther. Haha. It's definitely related to universal law. Mundo says, you guys are a true example of what being a real woman means, not stripping off and flashing naked to prove you're a strong woman. Yeah, look, and I'm not going to knock women that do that because I mean, women express themselves in um, so many different ways, but a woman has to know her worth so much more, or being able to express her worth without having to take her clothes off or flash her tits or you know have to appear sexy or to appear desirable. A woman, we make the world go round. We make the world go round. And um, again, it's that programming where women feel they need to appear sexy and appear beautiful and appear desirable in order to, I don't know, maybe get the attention they need. Not obviously not all women, but some women feel, it's more of a, I don't know. I feel they have it in their minds that women need to be a certain way, especially when you listen to modern day culture, modern day music makes women feel they have to be a certain way. But I think the epitome of a woman, a good woman, is that they can throw their hand at anything and cook and create things and nurture and do all of that because we do all of that. Um, I mean, being a woman is the most incredible thing, and we are capable. But again, we live in a male-dominated society. How many women that you know of, you can count that are in power in the world? There's not many. There's the queen. Who else is there? I'm sure, like, I don't know too much about political leaders and things, but world leaders, like, it's male dominated. Male dominated. Why is it male dominated? And women that are in a position of power seem to be aggressive, and hard. And women don't need to be like that. I mean, obviously, if it's in their nature to be like that, if it's natural to them, then so be it. But some women feel they need to be so aggressive and so, so tough and show this tough exterior in order to be on the same level as men. And I don't know where that comes from. I think, again, it's that stigmatized influence that women need to be a certain way. But anyway, I do as I do out here is because it's only me. And if I don't do it, shit does not get done. So it needs to be done. And I don't want to wait for somebody to do it for me. I don't want to pay somebody else to do it for me. I want to do it. I want to learn. I want to, you know, I want to create this place. I am so capable. I have strong hands. I've got strong muscles. I can lift things. I can do things. I'm learning about my land. You know, I I'm learning about my climate. I'm learning about my soil. I just, all I need to do is just listen to that intuition. Listen to the intuition of my place. And I would suggest other people do the same if you're in a similar predicament, and or not even, but again, it goes back to bottom line, it just goes back to intuitive living. Intuitive living, living with the flow, living with that flow in your life, flowing with life, because you don't have to, like, you don't have to be anything. You just have to do what feels most in alignment with your authentic self. And for me, it is this, it's natural living and um, simplified living. And I'm trying to teach it to my mother because, you know, so when she goes to town, like, like a big city, she'll ask me if I need anything. And I always tell her no. Or I might tell her, can you get me like a liter of milk or something if I don't have a chance to go into town to get something, and I see her instead. Um, but this woman, oh my gosh, she came back the other day with a bag full of new clothes for me, and I already have too many. Like it just, it's another thing that grates me is just consumption and consumerism. I said to her, thank you, but I didn't ask for this. Like, look at all these new clothes. She said, oh, well, I thought you needed this and that, and this was on sale. I'm just like, don't buy it just because it's on sale. That's another gimmick to make you buy it. I don't need these clothes. Like, I don't even want to tell her because, I mean, I appreciate her generosity, but I feel like I just want to go and take these clothes to like the Goodwill bin and give them to someone that actually needs them. I don't need them. In fact, I was thinking about it a couple of weeks ago of getting rid of some of my clothes, like half of them, because there is too much. There is too much. When I did that world travel in 2013, I could fit all my clothes in half of my suitcase. I had a tiny suitcase like this. I literally would just wash as I wash my clothes. So I had a couple changes of clothes that I would just wash like every second day, wherever I was in the world. And it worked. And that's all I needed. I get obviously that, different time zones, you need different clothes, but I still have too many clothes. I still have too many clothes. And like, yeah, if there's one goal that I have for the next few months, it is to go through my clothes and get rid of clothes. I'm not going to tell her though because she will not like that idea. She will not like it. She will say I need all these clothes, so I just won't tell her. I won't tell her. And I don't have to worry about her watching this live stream because she never does. I don't even talk about my YouTube life or anything with them because they are very aware of what I do and they don't need to know. So I will make it a goal to go through and get rid of at least half of my clothes. It'll just make me feel less cluttered. Not that I have clutter here because I feel like everything um, it means something to me here, and it's not cluttered. I don't um, hold on to things, especially not possessions like clothes and things that I just don't need. So, yeah, I think that's going to be a goal for the next couple of months to go through all of my clothes and get rid of them. Melanie from Germany is here. Hi, Melanie. Hello, much love to everybody from Germany. Mando says, "What do your family think of all your hard work?" I don't actually know. I think they know I'm determined. As in, if I start something, I'm gonna finish it. But I think they're I think they're pretty happy. I think they're pretty proud of all the work that I've done. We don't really kind of talk about it. All of us in our family are very hardworking, and I think it's just normal. I think it's just normal, and I mean, obviously, perhaps they're surprised I didn't tell anyone I was buying a jackhammer because my father, especially, would say, no, 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 that's not a safe tool for a woman to use. You cannot use that. So I didn't tell him because I knew that's what I would be met with. So I didn't tell him that I was going to buy it. But I knew I needed it. I definitely needed a jackhammer to get this job done. I do want to buy a chainsaw. He is adamantly against me buying a chainsaw. But you can get little ones for like $100 that, you know, um, uh, you they're more controllable than a big one. I don't want a big one. I just want to be able to cut my wood. I tried cutting my wood this last winter with an axe. Do you know how hard it is to cut through dried seasoned wood with an axe? Like an axe is for splitting wood, not for cutting through wood. It was the hardest job ever. I couldn't get through it. So it just ended in frustration. No matter how sharp my axe was, I sharpened that blade of the axe on a grinder, made no difference. Um, so I want to get a little chainsaw, but he is adamant. He's so against it because he thinks they're very dangerous. He has maybe about three chainsaws. He's had some really close calls with chainsaws. But the little one, I feel like it's within my grasp. But that's another tool I will not tell him about buying because he will be so against it. And not only that, he will go on, I will never hear the end of it. And he'll also say, "You don't even know how to clean the chain. You need to do that properly. It has to be done properly. You don't even know how to hold it." He doesn't even want to show me how to use a chainsaw because he doesn't want me to have one. He doesn't want me to use one. But I have so much wood around here that I can only chop. I have pieces of wood about this big. I can't chop through that with an axe. And in fact, an axe would be more dangerous trying to cut through something like that, other than a chainsaw. I did use a handsaw, but it was just, I'd be there all night. So it's about making things easier. Um, so things like that I have to buy on the download because otherwise he won't agree to it, and I'll never hear the end of it. Athena says it's nice to feel sexy, but being sexy is so much more than the body. Unfortunately, over the years, I have been treated differently by people as I've progressed in my journey. Yeah, I, I definitely think I don't like even the word sexy just seems it's just something that's not even something that I would use for anyone. I'd never say, "Oh, she's sexy" or "he's sexy." I just don't even use that word. I don't know, like it just seems like a word that's not something that I use, something that I use. But I find people attractive or beautiful because I look for some. Like I look for so much more than just like, I look for beauty and depth in people. And I'm not talking about physical beauty. I'm talking about just being beautiful, beautiful people in every way. It's so much deeper than just sexy. What is sexy? And I just I don't know. It's a word that I've never really used. Um, Mando says, I feel really proud of you watching your journey. Really inspiring. Thank you so much. I really want a workspace like the one behind you with the long island and shelves. It's absolutely gorgeous. Thank you so much. Yeah, well, this is original. This bench is original. It's like built in 1880, and it was such a job. If you watch that before and after video before YouTube terminated it, my channel, of me stripping all that paint off this bench, oh god, it was such a job. It was it was an asshole job. It was an asshole job. Um, but I will be painting this shelving brown. I don't have enough brown paint at the moment for it, and I'm kind of contemplating whether I take this back wall off first before I paint it, or I paint it first and then cover the shelves and then take the render off. I'm not sure, but that's an inside job. That's a summer job because right now, while the weather is not too hot, I'm outdoors like every single day in the morning, and then at night. And I'll probably be out during the day because it's not too hot today. And so, yeah, it's just a work in progress, just a work in progress, and just making it a home. And it feels like that now. When I look back at old pictures of how it used to look with the white wall, I don't even recognize this place anymore. So, yeah, it's a big work in progress, but slowly, slowly, all this work will be for summer, when summer really hits and when it's too hot to be outside during the day. So anyway, just wanted to check in with you guys and give you a little update. And thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to do that morning type video thing that I was talking about. Um, and yeah, if you are interested in seeing more garden stuff, then go to my Noor Gardens YouTube channel, which I've got the suggestion thing in my this channel. Um, for any of you that love more so the gardening aspect of things, and yeah, I will look forward to doing another live stream soon. Thanks for tuning in. I love you guys, and may you always, always be blessed by the supreme truth and love of the cosmos. I love you guys.